Okay, so this is the most critical part because I'm going to try to show you how these paints cover in comparison to each other or the three brands. This is going to be just my palette, but I'm going to mix them there, so I think it's important that you can probably, hopefully you will be able to see if the camera is good enough, the different inconsistencies among the three brands. And then I'm going to just paint for you to show you coverage here. This is just, you know, my cheapest source of plastic art that is actually all credit cards. They have been sprayed, primed with automotive gray. This is a primer I use sometimes for miniatures, especially large ones, because then the grain is quite fine. But then what I did is I painted a third of the surface with a white primer from Scale 77 as well, and then another third with black primer from Scale 77. So what we know we have here is a nice surface with primer that is going to be sticking. The paint is going to be sticking to it. Speaking about the primers are quite good. I myself found out that the black one doesn't adhere as good as the white one. Yeah, I don't know if this is my first experience with black primer, to be honest. So I don't know if this is a problem of black primers in general, or this black primer doesn't adhere that well. But it's happening right here, and it happens to be in a miniature. So if you need a black primer, probably, I don't know if this one is, the grain is very fine, but I don't know if it's a good one, or probably I messed it up, I didn't just shake it well enough. So these are the colors I chose to show you. I will start with the blues. For blues I tried to pick three blues that are more or less the same, right? This is going to be Sapphire Blue by Reaper, Mediterranean Blue by SCColor, and Medium Blue from Vallejo. Medium Blue is a little bit darker, I think, in shade. It dries darker. At least I paint. What I do when you paint all the time is just dab a sample of the paint on the pot, and it looks darker even on a white cap. So it's going to be darker probably, but it will help us see. What I want to show you is probably, since the colors are very close in hue, sorry, I'm shaking them while I try to speak, we can see if probably the pigments each manufacturer use are close enough, then we can appreciate differences in transparency and consistency right out of the pot. So what I'm going to do is, this is the Vallejo Blue, is going there, then and I just keep them there so I remember this is the Vallejo one. Then the Reaper paint is coming there, and then the SCColor paint is going there. First, when you first try using the SCColor paints, they look so thick. To be honest, they feel like a plastic shell. Hell, not really paint. I've been told that what you need to do is shake them like your life depended on it. It's not that easy. I mean, I get tired easily, but well, I try to shake them. I get also quite a bit of separation from Vallejo, and for example, check this Reaper. It has there some medium separating. So every paint has its things. You just know this one needs to be shaken a lot, and this little bit of SCColor actually came out quite nice. Anyway, brush so that nobody, you know what I'm using, is just a Reaper number 0 hair that comes on there into paint kits. Don't use this for painting, but it's going to be good enough for this. So now, this is Reaper paint, probably all of you know it already. As you see, it's very fluid. I can spray it here and brush stroke, even when it's straight from the pot, disappears after a second or two. And that is Reaper paint, we know it already. It's the most fluid in my experience from all of them. This is Reaper paint, blue and green, staying out of the pot, slightly transparent. This is my experience with the paint. This is on the black. it's transparent as well. You can see the color. You can still see brush strokes, but I can probably thin it, and I will thin it a little bit later, and brush strokes will disappear because the paint is very fluid. Then I'm going to use the Vallejo one. The Vallejo of course are a lot more dense. I don't know if you can see it here, but I'm picking up quite a bit of dense paint, and out of the pot they cover a lot more. And brush strokes, of course, you can see brush strokes, but you don't really see as many as you would think you could see. I mean, you will get from such a dense paint. I like Vallejo colors because they are very dense in pigment. You can always thin them later if you like to thin them, like I do. And then the SCColor paint. The SCColor paint feels like it is big, thick powder. Just look at that, right? See how it stays? Can you see the brush strokes? Right? It covers beautifully, however. See that? You can still see brush strokes there. It's probably because, as I said, this is the densest of the ones, so if the brush stroke cover, of course that has a little more water because I just dip the brush into the water. Sorry, that's my common practice. But so let's just clean it again and see. You know, Vallejo, it leaves a brush stroke behind, but slowly starts to get back in itself. It starts to level. That's the right word, I think. Reaper paint, in my experience, is way thinner. You can get good coverage, but you need to do more layers. So it's great for layering. At least I think this paint is good for layering. SCColor, thicker, as we said, right? There has here more paint, more water than I wanted to. I'm going to have to get, but oh. Sorry, there's water there. It's not good. So, well, you can see it here. I have too much water on the brush, so that's a rule. See? But as you can see, if you are concerned that SCColor is not good enough or not a paint good enough for our hobby, it definitely is. It has good coverage. It is thick, but we'll thin it later and so on. So that's a little bit of a comparison for that. Then I will move to yellows. Yellows in general, I have a different time having them to cover. And this is going to be Reaper Sun Yellow, Vallejo Flat Yellow, and Sun Yellow as well, or Sol, the pulverized yellow from SCColor. These paints should be quite close together. SCColor paint is actually a bit brighter, more desaturated or more brighter. Flat Yellow from Vallejo has a tint of orange in it, but well, that's what we have. Same order as before, it's just a quick shake. This is Vallejo. Vallejo has a problem with separation, so probably if I didn't shake it well enough, some of the pigments, especially the darker pigments, tend to go to the bottom in this yellow. This is Reaper. See how fluid it is? Plop! Immediately came there. And then SCColor. SCColor is expected to be a little more dense. See, a little medium there as well. I don't know if you can see the transparent thing here. That is medium. That is a thing I have with SCColor when a lot of that medium comes. If you can see, it is very thick. It feels very thick. You need to thin it. You can't just use this paint straight from the pot. It will be a mess. But let's try it here. SCColor. As I said, sometimes I have issues with yellow covering. SCColor, for being a yellow, covers quite a bit of it. It's quite nice. Just a second to clean my brush a little bit better. Reaper yellow is a very nice yellow. See It's fluid, it goes like this. It's very nice. It still shows the color behind. Let's try it on black. Yellow on black is not a good idea, but here it is anyway. It's sickish green, probably from transparency, but you can see. Barely a brush stroke, that's Reaper for you, so you know the paint. And then Vallejo straight from the pot, just mix it a little bit. Right, and you can see this yellow is thinner than the blue, for example. You know, you have to align your consistencies. You can actually, this is why you can say one drop, or 2-1 or 3-1. Different paints behave differently, different brands. You have to just learn your consistency, and that is that. Vallejo, yellow. On the white, goes great on the white. But as you see, these colors, even Vallejo and SCColor, they don't have the coverage, the yellows don't have the coverage the blue have. And that is a given, that if you were not aware, well, now you know it. Then I'm going to show you a little bit of the reds. Hopefully the paint will not dry too fast for me to do a sample thinning exercise later. I usually use a wet palette, so this is new for me, but okay, hopefully it will last a little bit longer so that I can show other consistency, especially on the blue. That was quite thick. Reds. Red for comparison for you, I have Reaper Blood Red here, then Vallejo Flat Red is more or less the same color, and also again Blood Red from SCColor. This red is, I'm pretty sure, if I don't shake, it's going to show a lot of medium. So quick shake. I usually shake them quite a bit more. Shaking well, all of them. Same order. First one, Vallejo. Wow. Reaper. Oh, the Reaper one has dried. The top has dried on me. It's my fault. I don't use the Reaper paints as much. Whoa! See? That's when you squeeze too much. Just there. Well, you have a lot of Reaper red there, and then we have SCColor is going to be there. Okay, so Reaper red, a lot of Reaper red we are going to do there. Reds are also usually known for not having the best coverage in the world. You can see it here on the black. Reaper red. They are very fluid, few blue strokes, just you need to be careful with your stroke. Vallejo red out of the pot. Much better coverage because of course it's much more dense. Again, I can still see the line. I can see a little bit of black and red behind it, but the color is much better. And then this plasticky thing we can call paint is SCColor red. SCColor red covers beautifully. If you're careful with your stroke, you won't have many blue strokes, but you just slap the paint on it. You get what you there, but you can still see blue strokes. So those are the three colors I wanted to show you in comparison. So as you can see, SCColor is a very fine, very nice hobby paint we all use. So hopefully I can show you, sorry for that, how this paint thins. I'm going to use the reds, Reaper paint. This is water, just plain water. I'm going to take a mixing brush, some water, take some red, and I'm going to try to make it a 1-1 mix. That's what it is, right? On SCColor. Oh. There. And SCColor thins great. Hopefully you can see the texture there, see? This is a lot. This is much thinner scale color paint. Hopefully you can see it retains a lot of vibrancy. Of course, red on black, very difficult to cover. Black is a very difficult color to cover, and you got a high coverage color. But that is scale color. So if you would say, oh yeah, it was way too thick, it's true, it's thick out of the pot, but remember, you never use paints out of the pot, right? Even if Reaper ones are quite, you can actually use them out of the pot with a very little thinning, like the 2-to-1 that the Lens to Paint kits say. Still, you should, if you want to try to use more advanced techniques, you need to thin it. Then I'm going to take, I'm going to mix the brush, a bit of water on the brush and just mix it into the Vallejo red, probably 1-to-1, a little bit less, right? Thins beautiful as well. This is Vallejo thin. See, Vallejo has, this paint in particular has a lot more coverage, it has a lot more vibrancy. This flat red is not the brighter Vallejo red I own, but it's a very nice coverage red, as you see, for a deep color. And then Reaper, take some water, let's take some of this red Reaper. Reaper gets watery for me very quick with low ratios. Could add more paint there to just too much consistency, but you can see Reaper gets watery very quickly, and this is very useful for a lot of techniques, right? But see, so there you have probably 1-to-1, like that consistency out of the pot. And I don't really think you can see it, but on this red, for example, I can see the brochures on the Vallejo. I can see there's still a little spot of Reaper that was too thick and it's not drying, but everything else has no brush strokes. I have very little brush strokes on scale color, but usually Vallejo and scale color are probably the same consistency. Scale color tends to feel more like a plastic shell, a gel on your brush, but it's still more or less Vallejo's consistency. In my experience, at least most of my colors are. But you thin it, it's beautiful coverage, beautiful coverage. All of these are great paints, so that's what I want to show you. So just to show you, because I have found this to be very useful, this is Vallejo thinner medium. I also have tried this with glazing medium, from Vallejo model color. The result is not exactly the same, but it works like a charm. This is a whitish, probably you can do that with Reaper medium matte, but just to show you, because I found this to be very useful, if you take this thick scale color paint and you mix it with some of the thinner medium, you can immediately see surface tension dropping, the same with glazing medium, and a little bit of water. And consistency is great again. Just this is over the previous one, this is over white, right? I could add more water to help the solution, or more thinning medium to thin it better, but you see scale color Mediterranean blue gets thin a lot. So in my opinion, not really knowing the chemistry behind these paints, scale color and Vallejo lack additives that Reaper paints have. The Reaper paints flow better, they have less surface tension, and they are better overall paints right out of the pot. However, even when they are more expensive, they scale color paints, for example, is very pigment heavy. I have found it to be very nice. I have thinned them a lot, just like you do with Reapers, for example. I have thinned them way too much without it breaking. I can add, probably, I can take this little bit of red here, dash it on the this is just water, and as you can see, no pigment breakdown, almost nothing there. You can let it sit on for a while and you will start to separate slowly, but it's very, very easy to put it back together. I mean, for all three paints are very pigment thin. That's a thin glaze for you. When you ask, guys, what is a glaze just trying to tint the surface, that is a red glaze, for example. So these paints work great for that. They are definitely very nice quality hobby paints, and if you like any of the sets, I can definitely recommend them. Another thing I wanted to show you is how well this paint adheres to bones. I mean, one of the things we look for river paints, or I hear about river paint, is how well it is for bones. This is a bones miniature, obviously, as you can see, because of how well it doesn't break actually. The whole skin was done in African shadow, right? This purplish, dark purplish color. I'm turning this as a base. Of course, I'm just starting with this miniature, and there's still a lot to do. But for example, here I rubbed the paint very, very hard with my finger, scratched it, and I lift it off. But as you can see, it goes very, very nice on the bone. If you do this with your nail, of course, paint is going to chip. It's still very resistant anyway, right? You can see very little chipping. Well, big surface there. We went out. It has a first coat of brown liner, but in general, casual rubbing, it's not bad. I mean, paint works quite good with bones. Detail is nice. You have no big issues of scale 75 paint. I'm sorry. I know I said the name wrong. All during the video is scale 75. SC75 paints. Sorry. Another thing I want to show you then is that each set comes with a little with this little sheet, and in it you can see the 4 colors, the 8 colors. Actually, here are the colors they are going to use for some technique. They explain 2 techniques in each pack. For example, here for choosing NMM steel and Azure steel, and it's playing in 4 languages: Spanish, English, French, and Italian. Instructions are quite nice. This is the blue set for armor, you know, that's better, more highlighted blue, cloth blue, that it has softer transitions. This is the Blood and Fire red paint set. It has an example of red as fire, right, or as actually not fire. This would be fabric or something like that. And blood, how to paint and detail a wound. It's very nice. The flesh paint set, Indian skin, white skin. I actually used the Indian skin recipe as written for one of the minutes of my dragon diorama, and it went really nice. I mean, combinations here are really nice, but even then they don't really go just use this color or that color. They go just mix this color with another one. Some of these instructions you can also see online at the YouTube channel of this manufacturer. They are easier to follow there because you can see the mix, you can see consistency, you can see someone apply paint to a miniature, and that is even better. So that is all. If you have any questions, just feel free to ask them in the forum, or just send me a personal message. If you want me to try some other paint, or you want to see some other paint, or you have any more questions about these paint sets, I'm happy to do whatever test you want, as long as it doesn't mean I have to waste a lot of paint. But everything else is really whatever I can do, just tell me. Okay, so thank you very much for watching. Take care. Bye.